Trump-Abbott gerrymander is a test case for the rest of the country. What Republicans are trying to do in Texas is a model for other red states to lie, cheat, and steal their way to victory.
That was Democratic National Committee Chair Ken Martin, also from Minnesota. He appeared today alongside those Texas Democrats who escaped to Illinois over the weekend, hoping that leaving Texas would block a vote on redistricting the maps in that state that could create up to 5 Republican seats in the Texas legislature. Tonight, those lawmakers are still holding out, not in Texas. And we were wondering about Martin's claim there. What does it mean, if you believe him, that they're doing this for the rest of the country? Here's Jessica Hart.
Janica, the political experts tell me this isn't a surprising move, but what is shocking is that they're doing it in the middle of the year. Usually maps are redrawn every 10 years after the U.S. Census is conducted, but the experts say this move is all about power.
Words have power.
We have an opportunity in Texas to pick up 5 seats. We have a really good governor, and we have good people in Texas. And I won Texas. I got the highest vote in the history of Texas, as you probably know. And we are entitled to 5 more seats.
And these words from the president from CNBC Tuesday could have big implications, backing Texas Republicans' efforts to redraw districts that could give them up to 5 more congressional House seats.
It could well have huge implications for who has power in Washington.
Larry Jacobs is a political science professor at the University of Minnesota.
If redistricting takes on blood sport dimensions, which looks like it's heading for, we could be looking at a very significant erosion of American democracy.
Legislatures are basically picking their voters are not picking them.
David Schultz is a political science professor at Hamline University.
Essentially, this is what we call partisan gerrymandering, and the U.S. Supreme Court has said federal courts can't review partisan gerrymandering issues, which means now this frees up states like Texas and others to essentially game the system or rig the system.
Now, Democratic states like California and New York are considering changing their rules to offset possible Republican gains in Texas to help Democrats win.
This is really about power and who gets to make decisions in Washington. And right now, in Texas and perhaps Democratic-controlled states, we're seeing a battle to fix the system so that one party wins and the other loses.
What we're going to see now is a significant undermining of fair and free elections in the United States.
Gerrymandering isn't just a Republican issue. Democrats are guilty of it too.
There is no innocent party in gerrymandering. This has been going on really since the beginning of our country. Here you've got the Democrats in Texas fleeing to Illinois, which has some of the most significant gerrymandering in the country. Call that irony.
Democracy, a word that founded our country, a word these experts feel could get lost.
It's now both sides saying, it's ours, we get to do whatever we want. That is not what democracy is about. Democracy is supposed to be about compromise and negotiation.
Now, Jana, the reason it's ironic that they're traveling to Illinois is because back in 2022, Illinois redrew their congressional district maps to heavily favor the Democrats.
Basically did what Texas Republicans are trying to do now. And that's our point here, whether you're Republican or Democrat, if it's just a tit for tat, what does this whole thing even mean?
Exactly. Yep. And that's kind of what they were saying. You know, for the voters, it means that you're going to probably have less power moving forward here.
Oy, oy, oy. All right. Thanks so much, Jessica. We appreciate it.